The next major vintage event is fast approaching. Tomorrow is the Super RCQ on Magic Online, so we got to get in good practice today. Taking my beloved PO deck for another spin in a vintage challenge. All right, welcome back, Vintage Gamers. This is the Saturday before the Vintage Super RCQ. I had planned on playing Paper Vintage today down in New York City, but due to some sleep issues, I did not make it down there. So instead, I'm going to stream for you today, and we're going to be playing the same deck I would have played in Paper, and the same deck I'm looking to play tomorrow in the Super RCQ, and that is my newest version of Paradoxical Outcome. You probably saw a video of me playing this in the showcase. Since the showcase, Falcon Eye also took down a challenge with this deck, or a similar version to this deck. There are some changes we'll go over. But my apologies if I'm a little lethargic and low energy today. I just had some issues. I'm all right, so it's not a big deal, but I just am tired. What we've changed since the last time we played this Lurrus deck is I've cut the Bowmaster Twister package. I don't think the Bowmaster Twister package is bad. If the Bowmaster Twister package lends more to your playstyle, I think it's a totally acceptable thing to have in your deck. For me, I didn't like how the Bowmasters didn't really push your PO game plan, and instead, like, they were kind of more like roadblocks by time cards. I did like Bowmaster Twister, but I didn't really like the Bowmasters themselves. So I've just added more utility into the deck with things like Snapcaster Mage, Yawgmoth, Negation, Repeal, Dig Through Time. Just some like powerful blue cards, cards that are traditionally good with PO, second top, that kind of thing. And because we've lessened our black splash, we can actually go down to 3 Cs and have full 3 basics to beat the pesky Wasteland gamers. I don't think I changed much else besides that. I think the overall strategy of this deck is extremely good. You may have noticed in the data, PO had the best performance in like the last month and last week. People are catching on that the way that Lurrus Saga Control is built right now is not good enough. I think all 4-ish versions of Lurrus combo are all better than playing Lurrus Saga. So keep that in mind as you approach the Super RCQ next weekend. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited for today's challenge. Should be good. Hopefully we can stay awake and put up a good effort. See you in round 1. Have you ever wanted to win your own real Black Lotus? The legendary NYSE Vintage Tournament returns this June 22nd on Long Island in New York. 15 proxy, high stakes, paper vintage action with 8 whole pieces of unlimited power as prizes. You are not going to want to miss it. Check out more information in the description below. I hope to see you there. Let's battle. All right, here we go. Round 1. 64 players. That's beautiful. We won't have to play 7 rounds. I'm not sure I could make it through 7 rounds. We'll see. I have a cat. I've got Urza's Saga Forces. This hand's not particularly good. I'm going to keep this hand, but I just don't think this hand is particularly good. I'm going to lead Saga. One of the things you need to understand when you're playing this deck is that Saga is not a crucial game plan piece. Making constructs is not important. Saga is much better at getting you Moxen and Soul Rings to propel your Lorien revealed and Paradoxical Outcome. Like a lot of the time, Stress Down is going to kill your own constructs anyways. So you actually kind of have an advantage in the sense that you're not always putting mana into your Saga, and you can play it on turn 1 with no Moxen. So I'm going to play this Saga here basically as a Soul Ring on Suspend. If my opponent takes the turn and Wastelands us, that just helps us give us time to draw into like something like Demonic. So Black Lotus, blind, 7-card hand. Opponent is known mono white initiative player. I'm gonna force it. Am I gonna force it pitching Force of Will, or am I gonna force it pitching Lorien Revealed? I'm gonna force it pitching Force of Will. So I can still get black mana and cast Demonic. I believe it's part of the charity fundraiser, right? They have an all access pass as well. So, wow, my opponent had Black Lotus, Mana Crypt, 7-card mono white initiative hand. All right, I guess if that's what's gonna happen, that's what's gonna happen. Is it an initiative? Okay, at least it's a White Plume Adventure and not an Archon. It's the bad cards, thank God. But it does mean that fixes them for white mana. You know. Oh, they have a Strip Mine as well. So their 7-card hand contained Black Lotus, Mana Crypt, Lotus Petal, Strip Mine, White Plume Adventure. I see. Well, that's not good. And a Mox. Like they had double white artifacts. And they had how much mana? They had 8 mana. All right. I don't really want to expose myself to a second Wasteland, so I'm going to play the island out, but it does expose me to like a top-decked Archon. I assume top-decked Archon, because if my opponent had an Archon and they chose to play White Plume Adventure, I guess theoretically they don't have another white source. They went down to Lost City? Lost Well? That can't be right. I mean, White Plume Adventure is a lot worse than Archon of Emeria. But it's not bad. It's a lot better than Anointed Peacekeeper. Okay. That's a good reason to go down the Lost Well. So I take... The good thing is... I mean, I have to win with Vault Key. I'm at 15. I'm not taking lethal because they didn't go down the Forge Trap. We can still win this game. My deck is at least powerful. Like, this is like the prime example of why I wouldn't want to be playing something like Lurrus Saga. Lurrus Saga has very few ways to win this game, whereas I feel like we have a lot more options. I'm not saying we're going to win this game. We're not even close to favored, but we have outs. So, I mean, if my opponent has like another initiative creature and they Throne of the Dead into something, it's probably doomed. But if they like simply don't have any hate pieces here, we ancestral into something. They have another Seasoned Dungeoneer. I take so they okay, sure enough. They have Archon of Emeria, which is the best card in their deck. And they they thrown into a Chancellor. I could have, instead of playing Demonic for Ancestral, I could have held up Dress Down, but I think that's just like capping myself too low. I don't think I'll be able to draw out of the game if I do that. So realistically here, to win the game, I need to draw a land that produces mana, cast Dress Down, paying the 1, draw Black Lotus, and then cast Ancestral. There was no Archon in the last list they played? What? That's not possible. What does that mean? That's the best card in their deck. They cut Archon for Boromir. I wish I didn't know that. I'm not going to lie to you. I wish no one had told me that. Anyways, my opponent high rolled. It happens. We're going to bring in our Dismember and our Snuff Out. Take out our Flusterstorm and our Mental Misstep. Do I want anything else? I can bring in Needle for Wasteland. I don't particularly care about Wasteland, though. I could bring in an extra... Oh, I should probably bring in Steel Sabotage for Null Rod. Are there Null Rods in their deck? Why? They have 4 Dismember, no Swords, Leyline of the Void, no Null Rod, no Arc. Okay. Sure. Yawgmoth's really bad here, though, so... I mean, just draw Black Lotus and Mana Grip. There are no matchups where I board out Archon. And Archon is the #1 card I want to cast on turn 1. So I think cutting Archon from the main is egregious. That's just my opinion, though. This hand's pretty sweet. They don't wasteland me. I have like Ruby top, hold up Academy, hold up and dress down on an initiative creature, or can end of turn address down. Never mind. They have a Chancellor, and I lose the game. I have to force one of their plays so I can play Magic, I guess. I mean, I'm keeping this hand. I'm never mulliganing this hand, so. I mean, I think I'm going to lose. But they have Athalia uncounterable here. They have another Black Lotus. All right, I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. If they have a cavern, they have a cavern. I don't care. I have to. Okay. Okay. I would have drawn a land. I would have had to force it. So, it's fine. This is Ruby top, and I can spin and fetch away if I want. Is there anything that I would draw into right now? I guess Ancestral. I guess this means I can't pick up a dress down and play it on their turn. I kind of think these cards are bad. I think I just want to mulligan these cards and just fetch away and use my active spin mana. It means I can't. I guess I could still fetch an Underground Sea. Maybe this was just like a bad sequence and I was just supposed to hold everything up. I could see it. Distress down, Dismember, or is a Saga? Saga's good. They didn't demonstrate they had a Wasteland, so. I could have Lorien though, or Lauren though. They have nothing. So they're just like raw dogging fast mana initiative creatures in Vintage. I guess. I guess that's something you could do. I wouldn't recommend that. Nothing. Now I don't want to dress down. I guess I can still play a dress down. Ooh, a repeal on the Chrome Mox. I do like that. I don't know, man. Just playing just initiative creature dot deck. That's so wild to me. New Chrome Mox. Okay. And Boromir Pass. Well, I guess I'm not casting a dress down in this game. I don't need a needle, though. I guess I just take a dismember. Yeah, although constructs are not your game plan, it doesn't mean you can't make constructs. This should just be a key, I assume. Let's take a look at what's on our top here. A saga. Let's use the top trick to draw our saga. And then I guess we can top again. PO. So next turn we can top trick, draw Mox Opal, and win. Seems fine. I could draw the Opal now, so I have the ability to dismember. That might be better. We can win this game without constructs. Constructs are not relevant to us winning this game. We just win this game with PO. Like, it looks good. Like, the constructs are nice, but the constructs are inherently irrelevant. All right, we're on the draw. We can think about bringing in negation and trap because my opponent is focused on that kind of style of game plan. Think that's going to be better than having something like Ataxian Probe. Second top seems kind of bad. There's like a lot of cards that seem kind of bad, but this is fine. I mean, technically we have 4 dress down, so most of their creatures don't matter, but yeah, you still want to be able to dismember, like dismembering a forged creature, or like it's just good to be able to do that. I have a negation, a ton of mana. If they Chancellor me, I guess I have some play. I have turn 1 Lorien revealed. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping this. All right. They mold to 6. I keep. Dismember is also like a really nice stopgap when they like prevent you from being able to play dress down. Like you somehow don't have enough mana for it. I will basically negate everything here. Definitely that. I just need to hope my opponent not to play a creature on turn 1 here. Oh, Ruby Cavern. Got an Archon. Oh, sorry, Thalia. Thalia is super good here. So is Dauntless Dismantler. Sick. Oh, drew the Saga, though. So that was best possible. We take those. I mean, like I said, there's inherent risk to my hand, but I had to keep it. That was the best draw in my deck, though, by a decent amount. I don't know. Like, Thalia's going to be, like, an actual issue here just because of the way I constructed this game plan, though it's nice that if they Wasteland me, I have a Tolarian Academy. It looks like they're not Wastelanding me. They have Lauren. Lauren is so good here. Oh, it's Boromir. You know, this is not a combination. Boromir says whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast a spell, counter the spell, and Thalia makes you pay 1. I hate Magic players. I think Thalia is among the weakest cards in Mono White Initiative, and like Thalia and Anointed Peacekeeper are really bad, and Archon is really good, and I think Boromir is like Boromir isn't bad, but I think if you want to play Boromir, the card you cut is Thalia, not Archon. So I can't do this Lorien revealed, so I guess I just draw for turn. I'm gonna cast my spells. This is net 0 mana. I guess it's net 1 mana. So I don't have to cast. I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. This costs 6. If I make a construct, I think I have enough to cast it this turn if I make a construct, right? So if I play Mana Vault and I make a construct, I have 1 mana floating. Yeah. So I make a construct. I have 5 artifacts. I have 1 mana floating, and I cast Lorien Revealed. Mana Crypt negation. Again, like this Thalia, this Boromir doesn't counter my Mana Crypt because I have to pay 1 for Thalia. Like the cards that they want here are Null Rod and Wasteland, and they've already shown they don't have Wasteland, and they didn't look like they had Null Rods in their sideboard, so very odd. This can sacrifice to gain Indestructible, and the ring tempts you. Why would you attack with the Thalia here? What does that accomplish? Oh, it turns the Boromir on. I don't care though. Do I care? I don't think I care. I mean, I can just draw Dress Down. I don't think I care. I think I'd rather just have 1 less creature on board. Oh, they you could have cast your Jet. Oh, so they unlocked the mana to play at Seasoned Dungeoneer. I see. That's funny. All right, they have no cards left in hand, so they're just super dead here. We make a construct. Oh, I immediately drew a Moxen, huh? We make a construct. We get a key. And we snap a Lorien Revealed. Do I want to untap my vault to do this? Don't need to. So I'll just cast this. Ancestral Dismember. Underground Sea. Indestructible doesn't stop minus, right? Just gonna use this blue mana to cast Ancestral to start. And we'll see what they do attacking wise. I don't think a Strip Mine does anything here. Like, what are they gonna do? Block sack? Block. I think it matters. Sure. You got it. Yeah, I mean, my opponent just, like, did not present strong Magic cards. Like, the mono white matchup is already pretty good for my deck, and it's just a lot better if my opponent is gonna make the changes they chose to make. If they, I mean, are they gonna go forging? See if they go forging. Like, they can't race. They have to go down the lost well, right? Sure. I don't know. I don't think anything matters here. One top, one bottom. Is there any reason not to do this now? Caracas or something? Just gonna do this now. Ah, sure. Yeah, I would concede too. I could have made my guy unblockable that turn. I guess I couldn't have. I would have had to dismember the Boromir and then use the Black Lotus to make it unblockable. But I don't even have like a land drop to hit. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I would not recommend the changes my opponent made to the Mono White Initiative deck. I think it kind of defeats the point of the deck and why the deck is good. But that's just my opinion, of course. So. All right, round 2. We're up against the Golos Master, Lariwa. Haven't seen him around too much recently. This hand is a classic lose to shops hand. I'm not really allowed to mulligan this hand though, am I? Feel like I should. I think I have to. This hand is just not going to beat shops, so I don't think you're allowed to keep it. The newly titled Sphere Shops. I'm gonna be real sad if they're not on shops, but I'm gonna mulligan this hand. People will probably yell at me in YouTube comments, but I think this hand is just going to lose every single time. So I'm looking for a hand with more Moxen, maybe one Force of Will, and some kind of powerful payoff. I feel like this hand is worse. I mean, I'm keeping this on 6, but I do feel like this hand is worse. Damn. I'm not thrilled. I feel like we're gonna die. Ancient Tomb Null Rod. Null Rod is probably the single best card against my deck, so... Collector Roof, no problem. 4 dress downs. Null Rod, that's an issue. Black Lotus. I think I'm pretty sure I'm repealing this Mox to try to draw him something. I see. Gonna get Revokered, but that's what it is. Tolarian Academy, 4 mana Karn. They're so good at this game. They're just so good at this game. It's crazy. They do this every time I play against them. Every single time. I'm just dead, man. Like, they have the 2 best cards. Like, they probably are playing 1 Null Rod main, 1 Karn main, and they just had them both with a 4 mana hand, so. Oh, no, they're on 4 Null Rod main. Okay, I really like that, for what it's worth. I think 4 Null Rod main is... I think the best part of shops right now is the fact that you can play 4 Null Rods in your deck, so. Yeah. I mean, I'm super dead. No, this is a more prison-based Sphere Shops. This is just how the opponent plays Magic. Strip Mine. Sick. I don't know. We were just like, if I kept my initial hand, actually, we would be in a lot better spot, right? I would be able to force the first null rod and force the Karn. I didn't actually need to respond to that, but I kind of thought they were good pass priority. There was kind of no reason for them to activate right then and there, so. All right, cool. I mean, I was never beating that. My first hand would have been better, but it's not like they normally have too many things that we have to counter. So, all right, we've got a Hercules in our sideboard. We've got a Steel Sabotage in our sideboard. We've got a Needle. We've got Mindbreak Trap, and we've got Negation. We can board out Fluster, Probe, Misstep, and Snap probably. Maybe we want to keep Snap on the draw, on the play, and just board out a Dig. Something like that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, my opponents in this tournament so far have had stellar draws, I must say. Never cut dress downs. Never cut dress downs. Not never cut dress downs, but like cutting dress downs here would make no sense because they have 4 Urza Saga, 4 Golos, 4 Revoker. Like, it's very good in this matchup. 4 Saga, if I said 4 dress down by accident. Like, Flusterstorm, Mental Misstep, and Gitaxian Probe are all basically dead cards, so very easy to board out. Yep, this is what we keep in this matchup. This is the kind of hand I was trying to mulligan for, really. This is exactly what we're looking for. Fetch a basic island, cast divination. I won't play around Mindbreak Trap, though they probably have Mindbreak Trap. Maybe I will play around Mindbreak Trap. Ugh. It says their last list has 4 Mindbreak Traps. The problem with playing around Mindbreak Trap is I can't end step PO, right? I won't have enough mana. So it kind of just looks terrible for me to play around Mindbreak Trap. They're also F6 for whatever that's worth. I mean, maybe they're baiting me, but I like I said, I don't think it cares. I think I just have to use my mana. All right, they didn't have Mindbreak Trap. Time Vault, Lorien revealed, basic island. So just draw Lorien revealed, force their whatever their play is. Could also shuffle with Lorien revealed if we wanted to, try to find a PO or something, but no. They're best known for playing Golos shops. It's their best deck by far. They're just like a colorless gamer. They play like Tron in modern and Golos shops in vintage. This is just a great example of why Lorien revealed is such a broken Magic card. Your top deck land is actually a draw 3. They used to play lots of Tabernacles, yeah. Ancestral Lorien Vamp. We just go Vamp and go for Vault Key. But if they null rod us again, then we obviously do something different. Yeah, I think they've always been the best control, like prison-based workshop player on Magic Online. I think that's a true statement. Revoker. Okay. I'm going to draw with my top so that doesn't get blanked. And then I'm not going to tap my jet. This could come back and bite me, but I don't want them. Okay, perfect. Sphere. Okay. All right. So we just need to beat our own mana crypt. And we have a Lurrus, so... All right. That was a good game. Exactly what we were looking for. Run it back. I think this might be one of the most common matchups I've ever played in the history of streaming. Loriwa Pia versus Prison Shops is probably one of the highest density match results I have on the platform, if I had to guess. I mean, it doesn't really help them to play it out because I have a guaranteed Lurrus, right? And like they have to block it, so I'm gonna. I mean, you should still play it out because it's not deterministic, but it's certainly not good. Oh boy, this hand looks really bad. I'm gonna mulligan this. This hand's great. All mana, baby. Would I rather put a Mox away to hedge for the 4 null rods? I think so. Soul Ring, 4 mana. Null rod. Got it. I mean, they have 4 null rods in their deck. It's gonna happen. Would I vamp here? It's quite possible that I would vamp for an ancestral here. So let's play out the fetch land. Play the Pearl out in case they play spheres. They each have follow-up Golos. Oh, follow-up Forge. Oh, that's at least dampered a little bit by Null Rod. Answers for an in-play Null Rod. We have a Hercules Recall, a Steel Sabotage, and a Repeal. I think I would rather go for Ancestral than get the answer directly. Maybe this was bad. Maybe I should have just gone Island, Time Vault, Saga. But I can't, like, guarantee they don't have a Wasteland. And they typically play, like, 9 Wastelands. They play 4 Wasteland, 4 Ghost Quarter, 1 Strip Mine. So I can't really rely on Saga. I think I'd rather just Ancestral. I have lots of dead draws, though. So, like, there's definitely some downside to Ancestraling here. All right. Well, they have an active forge and a workshop and a tomb, so not a great spot. All right. Second null rod. That's fine. Now our only answer is Hercules. They have a ghost quarter, but at least that gets us a basic island, and I have a 3rd basic island in my deck, so thank God I have a 3rd basic island in my deck. I made that change just with the Bowmaster change. Why is my Magic Online just not working? Like, I'm clicking choose this card, and it's just not doing anything. Weird. All right, I'm going to restart Magic Online after this. I'm not going to dress down. I'm just going to hold open force. They can't use their forge because it's null rotted, so that's nice as well. Steel Sabotage. That would have actually worked if they had one null rod. But it's a 1-mana counter spell, so I like this spot as well. If I had an extra Underground Sea, I could buy Lurrus. I think I'm just going to play out my Time Vault and hold open Sabotage Force. Saga Gaming. Well, that's going to be a dress down card that we're going to have to deal with, but not a huge deal. I don't want to untap. Strip Mine. Yeah, I guess we're supposed to just Strip Mine it. Do I buy Lurrus? I can probably afford to buy Lurrus. No. I mean, it's like not great. I'd like to hold open Steel Sabotage, but I have a Force. Doesn't feel necessary. Oh, okay. I think I'd still rather have Sabotage than Dress Down. I have 1 Sabotage and I have 3 more Dress Downs in my deck. Though I guess I would have looping Dress Downs with Lurrus, so maybe I'm supposed to keep Dress Down. Lorien Revealed lets us buy and play Lurrus this turn, but it exposes me. What would I want to Steel Sabotage? A Golos? I'm gonna just hold open Sabotage. Their Ghost Quarter is now turned on though, because I have all 3 of my islands. Crucible. Oh, yeah, I mean, I need to counter that. So they have an active Mystic Forge though, so it's not like countering these things is an actively good play for me. So all right. So do I Lorien Revealed for an Underground Sea? I think so. There's my dress down loop. All right. Got a Lurrus. I'm going to hold open dress down for a Golos. They have lots of mana, but they don't have a lot of life left. Here's Golos. Demonic. Sweet. Yawgmoth. Good God. Oh, okay. Demonic. Hercules. Yawgmoth. Probably just winning. It's got to be pretty damn close. I guess this runs into last card Mindbreak Trap. I could just wait. I could Demonic for Hercules and wait. Demonic for Hercules, cast an end step dress down. I think that's better. They're F6'd. If I get Mindbreak Trap, though, it's the only way I lose the game. Can I lose the game if I just, like, get a Hercules and pass? I mean, DT is my first spell. Hercules is my second spell. My third spell is Yawgmoth. It gets Mind Break trapped, and then what do I do? Mind Break Trap is a card that they have 4 of in their deck right now. I'm playing around it. I feel like the only way I can lose the game is if I jam into a Mind Break Trap there. That's like the only thing that can lose the game, right? Like, if they play a sphere here, I'm fine. If they play 2 spheres, still fine. I untap and I Hercules first. Like, I think this is just better. I'm not playing Dress Down for end of turn, so I can theoretically play a Hercules end of turn. Like, if they get a Golos, I don't care. If they get a Revoker, I don't care. If they get all the things that a Dress Down is good against, like, the only thing I do is I lose a card, but I already countered Karn. So I can't lose the Karn. So if I hadn't already countered Karn, then I would be more likely to want to jam. And this is why you always play 1 Hercules in your deck. Golos? Sure. This gets a Saga, but Saga doesn't matter. And then I untap and I Yawgmoth and they die. I can even go Lotus Yawgmoth. Sorry, I can go crack Lotus, replay Lotus, crack Lotus, Yawgmoth. So. If they have a Mind Break Trap after that for my, like, Demonic or something, I can Ancestral in response and then Force of Will out of my yard. So. Yeah, I think this is good. I think this locks everything up. They do have a search here. Shuffles their library. They have a Mystic Forge. They can hit a sphere. But again, I have a spear played around, so. Yeah, or that. Vamp. I have enough cards in my yard that I have all the answers, right? So. Lodestone, Trinisphere. Sure. I also have Attack for Lethal. I have Demonic Time Walk Attack for Lethal, chat. I literally have Demonic Time Walk Attack for Lethal. I think they have I mean, Tolarian Academy is good there because they're out of mana and they need to, like, do the thing, but black mana, replay, blue mana, Yawgmoth. Everything wins. I think I like the way I played that out. Pretty happy about that. This, like I said, this is probably the matchup I played more times than any deck in the format. Like, Loriwa used to play a lot of Magic Online, especially Saturday challenges. We've played lots of PO versus Prison Shops, so. All right, here we go. Round 3 up against Jose. I've got a cat. I doubt that Jose has a cat. Jose is not a cat lover. This hand has pretty reasonable keep. I typically think of Jose Maybe no. Juan Anton is more of the combo player. Jose usually is more of like an aggro player, right? Can't remember. Let's see. Jose's got prison shops, mono white initiative, mono white initiative, mono white initiative, jewel shops, that kind of stuff. Mox Pearl. If it's mono white initiative, I'd want to have countered that. Ancient Tomb Sphere. Okay, well, this looks like another shops matchup, which is pretty good for us. I'm gonna go and get rid of this dress down, keep the scroll, untap, draw, and probe my opponent. Show me what you're working with here. Opponent has a Caracas, another Karn. Why do they all have Karns, man? All right, I need to merchant for an ancestral, or merchant for an ancestral and get a force. Everyone has Karns. So I'm pretty sure we go Saga, Key, Opal, Lotus. We could merchant for a forest. I'm not 100% sure that's better. Like, it leaves me with nothing, right? I guess it leaves me with Saga, which is nothing. Like, is that really what we want to be doing? Like, I go Saga, Opal, Key, Lotus, Merchant, Force. I turn off my Opal. I have no mana. Like, that's not good. No, I don't have to do it. I have lots. I have another option. No, Merchant for Force and will work. I just think it's bad. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure like it's not good if I lose my whole hand and my board is Saga, Key, Opal, that's it. Like, that's just bad. That's not good. I don't know why people want to merchant for force here. I think that's just actively throwing the game away. Feels really weird to me. It's like impossible to win through Karn with Saga because we would have to have a land drop. So like we could theoretically we can't. We just can't. At the very least, I think playing these out is forced, right? I guess theoretically I could cycle this. Not very good though. I guess it's not forced if I don't want to turn on my Opal, if I want to just go Ancestral. It's so bad to get force here though, right? Like I would have to hit Moxen off the top to win the game. Like if I hit Moxen off the top, maybe I'm just straight winning. But if I hit anything other than Moxen, like aren't I just lost? But if I don't hit force, I'm also pretty lost, so it's tough. I can't wait for Lurrus. What are you talking about? They have a Karn coming down next turn. I immediately lose the game if Karn resolves, and I immediately lose the game if I use my whole mana, all my hands. I don't immediately... I already used a force, so I have 4 forces left in my deck. I'm drawing 3 cards in 51 for 4 forces. Cycle Lorien is losing. That's not a good play. If I cycle Lorien, they go Caracas Karn, turn off all my mana, my Saga fades away, and I've lost the game. I have 2 lines. I have Merchant, Ancestral, Pray for a Force, or like some other powerful play. And I have Merchant for Force, and then hope to draw Mox off the top. I can't even like buy Lurrus. They hit a land, they Golos, they get a Saga. It's just so bad. I just think unfortunately, what I think is the chance that we hit a Force of Will is too low off of, The chance we hit a Force of Will is too low, so I think I just have to do this and pray for the top deck. But those are my, I think those are my only two options. Ancestral and Force. They drew 3-ball. I hate this game so much. So now next turn they Karn me. All right, I have to force this and hope to hit a Moxen so I can make a construct, right? Yeah. All right, well. If I hit a Moxen, I'm probably fine. If I don't hit a Moxen, I lose. Yawgmoth, I lose. All right, we've lost. We just keep playing against workshop players who have turn 1 and turn 2 cards. Like, it's their best card in the matchup. Not much I can do about it. It's like super bad to even play this Saga out. I don't even get anywhere. Oh, I'm just lost. Like, what am I, like, I have no outs. I guess I have Tolarian Academy. That's my out. It's my only out, is Tolarian Academy. They drew Moxen off the top, so they can play Golos this turn. So now now Academy isn't even an out. Yeah, I mean, they top decked a Trinisphere. Though this would have also still just been losing, right? So. Yep. Oh my god, if I had cast Ancestral, we would have also lost horribly. Alright, well, we were losing this game no matter what. Nothing to worry about there. Opponent just had better cards. Pretty rough. Pretty rough. I still am not sure about Force of Will versus Ancestral Recall there. I just think the probability of hitting Force is too low. Like, it's not just Force, theoretically, right? I could hit Mox, Time Walk. I could hit... Like, there are other cards I could hit off of Ancestral. But I only had 1 blue mana, so it's, like, kind of rough, right? And, like, I do immediately lose the game if a Karn resolves, so... Alright, well, we know we're playing against shops now. We can look for on the play, multiple Moxen. 1 Moxen short. Unlucky. Have to put this one back. Almost a very, very good hand. This one has Saga, Force, Lorien, Mana Vault. Yikes. I mean, I think this is a key, but it's not very good. The problem is I don't get to mulligan like super low like I'm playing normal PO because I don't have Tinker. If I had Tinker in my deck, I can go like a lot lower. I think here I'm actually supposed to not play Mana Vault and I'm supposed to just Lorien for a basic. Isn't this a good hand? No, it's not a good hand. Not against shops. I overslept. We're just super far behind. Our hand was just like not good enough. Maybe I could have mulliganed one more time. It's hard to do. Saga is so much worse than an island, man. Saga is so much worse than an island. This card is just so bad. Ah, shit. I think I'm gonna PO for one. Another Revoker? Wait, I should just use my Mana Vault DeLorean. Oh, I'm so bad. I should have used my Mana Vault DeLorean. I just wasn't focusing on it. Great. I would have been able to make a construct here. I can't even cast Dig this turn, right? Frustratingly bad play. It's game-losing play. If I had used this Mana Vault for my Lorien, I think we would be fine, but I fucked it up, so. All right. This looks pretty lost. I think they'll Needle Saga, maybe. Soul Ring, Crucible, Wasteland Lock. All right, this means I get to dig through time, though. So maybe good. This matchup is not that easy. This is a very, very good example of how the matchup goes badly. Like, it's definitely a PO favored matchup, and it's definitely a matchup you want to play. But if you just like mulligan to not good hands, like they just overwhelm you with powerful cards. All right, so I have an Ancestral here. What is my second choice? It's just Brainstorm? Or is it PO? For PO to be good, I'd have to hit multiple Moxen. I don't think scroll for Hercules matters at all. I'm not really interested in scrolling for Hercules right now. I'm looking for like more powerful cards. I'm just trying to debate between Brainstorm and PO. I have 4 looks. If I hit... I just like don't think I'm going to be able to cast PO because I can't use my Mana Vault. It's probably still PO though. I'll just do any order. It's fine. That's a really good draw, considering what I just kept in my hand with a PO. That might be the best draw in my whole deck. I'm not worried about losing to attacking creatures. I have 4 dress downs in my deck. Like, that's just, like, not a thing that I care about at all. It's just not a problem. I can PO for 3. Or I can just go Saga Time Walk by Lurrus. It's probably better. Then we can PO on this turn. I don't think there's any reason to make a construct. I don't think that matters very much. We'll see, though. Key. Key is free and plays fine through trap. Force. Hercules. Nothing to return with Lurrus. This is fine. I'm not gonna cast a Lurrus here. I'm just gonna Hercules them. And that way I can Mind Break Trap something that matters. Oh, I guess this plays into fucking... this plays into Mind Break Trap because I didn't do it on their turn because I wanted to maximize my mana. That was fairly silly of me. Hmm. I really threw that away for no reason. I just wanted to maximize my mana and get a mana vault in play, but it was like pretty silly because I knew they had Mind Break Trap. It was like very obvious they had Mind Break Trap. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so how do I recover? Can't really force it because that defeats the whole point. It's probably just let it go and make a construct and just get wastelanded. My construct is going to be a 5/5. It's going to be more than a 5/5. Well, hardcast Mind Break Trap doesn't really help me either. Like, it kills a construct, but then they just play out all of their things again. It doesn't actually help me. So there's, like, no point in doing that. So this is just fine. I just play this and pass. No. Why are you suggesting all these weird lines, chat? Like, forcing there is so bad. I don't understand. It's my fault. I was supposed to go on upkeep, but what I wanted to do was like play my mana vault out, so I just didn't need to do what I did. I should have just played on upkeep like I was planning on doing. I don't have a dress down in my yard, unfortunately. I have an active mana crypt. I have no gas. Things are like kind of bad, but I also have attack and untap, so I guess it's fine. I could just go unblockable, I guess. But then I don't have a blocker, so it's pretty bad. So I think it's just attack and untap. They're gonna block. Sure. Is that good? They have a Saga in their yard, so I should hold the strip mine for a time walk. We have lots of draws. We have 3 POs, 4 Lorian, Demonic, Vampiric, Time Vault. Like half of our deck is instant winning, so... I think we can just use this Mana Vault. Steel, Sabotage, Island, Emerald. Okay. Just time walk them with this strip mine. Well, my Lorien reveal did not do the instant winning, for what it's worth. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're out of action. I mean, Saga can never take over the game. We have 4 dress downs in our deck, and the minute we draw a dress down, we loop on them. So, like, Saga doesn't matter at all. I guess theoretically, you could just never draw a dress down 4 out of 32. Like, that's just not going to happen. I sure hope that doesn't happen. I really hope that doesn't happen. That would be so unlucky. We have 4 dress down, 3 PO, 3 Lorien reveal, demonic tutor, time vault. Like we have so many cards. Like it's I can't imagine that could ever happen. It's like super unfathomable for that to happen. Oh, maybe we have like 1 less PO, 1 less Lorien. Sorry, I 2 less POs and okay, that's fair. I did forget about we cast the dig through time. You don't typically cast dig through time in this matchup ever. You cut dig through time a lot, so oh, silly me. I'm at like 9 minutes too. I gotta probably play a little faster. Hey, look, address down chat. All right, so first I make this thing unblockable. And then in second main I play a dress down, and then in cleanup I play, or in end step I play a dress down. I made it unblockable, Jose. I don't deserve the dress down? I don't know about that. I guess this does cost like a little bit more than I would think it would cost. This is super annoying because I can't hold open Steel Sabotage. But I guess I could use the Mana Vault. Oh, I'm not gonna play top, but I want to replay dress down on end step here. I guess I can just use the Mana Vault. It's fine. I just want to be able to play Steel Sabotage. Like, they should probably... Like, they can't actually... I guess they could get something else. It's fine. I think they can get Needle on key. But then we just do dress down mid-combat. So it's fine. Oh, they have a cage. Sick. A cage stops this loop. Probably just bounce key. Ugh. I guess this just happens. Oh. Okay. They might make me play this out, so... Oh, I'm not worried. We'll eventually deal with it. I gotta play fast, though. Oh, I can't play that this turn. I gotta actually untap this stupid mana vault. I'm fine. Not worried. Plenty of time. We don't need PO. We're just winning the game. Everyone in chat had the wrong idea there. I'm gonna restart my Magic Online. I'm lagging like crazy. I gotta close Chrome for a little bit too, probably. Yeah, you get lumped in with the people who are wrong. You gotta silence the wrong players, or it doesn't work out. I need a new computer so badly. Just can't handle this. I don't chess. Like 5 minutes is more than enough time to finish a match of Magic. You just make plays instead of talking to chat. Okay, let's do it. Making good plays is like not that hard. Making perfect plays is like what takes more time. Making good plays is like pretty easy. Like this is an easy keep. We keep and we battle. Yo, what up? I used too much time thinking about that one play in game one, Force versus Ancestral. Happens. Happens a lot when I stream sometimes. Just like the whole point is to be educational. So like when there's an actually interesting decision to be made, it's nice to do. You also close the game out pretty fast during Volkey turns just because of Saga, so. I very, very, very seldom, almost never have I lost on time on not streaming. Streaming certainly helps make that more of an issue, but we can just change the way we play. 5 mana turn 1, Golos. I'll just counter Golos, right? Actually, I don't really need to counter Golos. Probably just gonna let it go. Like, would much rather counter a Null Rod or something. A Mind Break Trap, maybe. Don't really feel like Golos getting Saga loses me this game. I guess like Golos getting Wasteland is like a little annoying. Oh, they went for the Caracas. All right, I'll just counter on the way back down next time. So Soul Ring, top, Bolt, F6. Sphere. That's fine. Saga Gaming as well. They have like a Trinisphere follow-up. Null Rod. Aha. I waited that one out. Key? Saga. Is that enough? Guess it's not enough. It's kind of unfortunate. Have a Hercules. I don't know if that buys some time. Do I need to cast Hercules this turn? No. No, they just get an am I dying before Needle? They could just bounce their Golos and get a Wasteland too, can't they? I mean, it has to be Hercules. Does this win? This costs 3 mana. It just costs 1,000,000 mana. Yeah, but I die. I have to do it in combat, and then they replay. I'm at 9. I'm at, yeah. I think I'm lost here if I had to guess. What is that? Oh, they drew a Wasteland. Sick. I can't vamp. Can't vamp. They just played 2 spheres, right? Wait, they played Golos? Doesn't that just mean we win? Oh, they have Black Lotus, so we don't win. And they can just fair for something next turn. I think we... Chess, you're so bad. Ah! Vamping was a game-losing play. Vamp cost 2 life. My opponent was attacking for 10. Ah, that's such bullshit. They top decked fucking Wasteland into Lethal Nettlecyst for Xaxes. Ah, I probably could have played that game better, but How does that help me, Chess? What are you talking about? It's just... I can't show my opponent Vamp. I can't show my opponent Vamp. They just changed their play, Chess. All right, so we're going through this, and it looks like Chess is in fact correct. So if we Hercules here in response to Wasteland, my opponent does get to replay both spheres, which is what I'm talking about, but we can draw Vamp and Vamp in response. And there's no way they can stop us from playing 3 mana key plus activate on the next turn. So yeah, this was a 1 game. I didn't see the mana constraint here. Let's see. I mean, I still have to I have to do the combo, but it should be pretty easy to do. So yeah, no, Chess is correct. If we Hercules here, we can Vamp. The problem was we lost a mana, and I didn't use the lost mana. And I know... I thought I was getting double sphered here. But I didn't get double sphered here. I still can't win. And then they drew Niddle Cyst off the top and killed me. I mean, it's still kind of unlucky to lose this game. Like, my line should still be winning most games, right? But chess is deterministic for sure. All right, well, let's not go too far. That was the first line Chess had correct the whole game. There's a reason people jumped on him, but no, I mean, you get credit where credit is due. In that game, Hercules Recall right there would have won the game. Any non-shop land wins. Why is that the case? Because they can Inventor's Fair for a needle? No, I don't mind you making bad suggestions. I don't really care. It's my job to ignore bad suggestions. Yeah, that's true. They get a null rod, right? Yeah. So any non workshop land does win there. I mean, they have a lot of things that whiff there. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know. I was playing fast and I did not make the correct choice, so. I mean, this is like all, like I said, it's all a product of me not having time though. Oh, I'm still recording. All right, we were talking a little bit more about why I made the line I wanted to do, and mostly it's because I was pre-planning my turn. I was expecting my opponent to make a construct for lethal and get a needle on Time Vault, which means I was trying not to Hercules Recall during combat because I wanted to Hercules Recall at end step, because if they got a needle, I needed the needle to not be in play to untap and Vault Key. I basically pre-planned the turn with the idea that my opponent would have a needle because I was low on time, and my opponent never got a needle off of their Saga. They just got a Lotus. And so basically all the things that I pre-mapped in my head did not go the way I thought they would, and I didn't course correct at all because I was like, oh, I'm still going to end step a Hercules Recall. And that's how we missed our lethal line here. So, all right, here we go. Round 4. Still in it to win it. It's a pretty good hand. I'm not saying that you should go back and analyze right away, because typically you have emotional ties to the plays that you've made. But I think... Sorry, I'm dying. Magic players don't review their matches nearly enough. You learn much more by reviewing a match than playing a match. It's boring, but it's very important to improving. No, I haven't been playing that. I have seen that on the timeline, but I have not played it. Oh no, is it really Dredge? I don't think my hand is particularly good against Dredge. Dredge is not the hero. Dredge is the best performing deck in the format. Dredge is the boogeyman. What are you talking about? Oh, no Dredger. Silver Smoke Ghoul, Prized Amalgam. Dredge is bad. Yeah, that it does not vibe. Dredge had like a 60% win rate for the whole month. Like just crushed the whole month long. This was like the funniest thing because it was like Karate Dem was like, we need to unrestrict cards and get rid of Saga because Dredge is no longer good enough. And the 2 months after after he tweeted the format is bad because Dredge is bad, Dredge was by far the best deck in the entire field by a large margin. I'm gonna let the hollow one go. It doesn't really prevent my gameplay in any meaningful way. The second hollow one. Second hollow one, you say? Second hollow one is too much, I think. Why is Dredge good? It's always been good. It's always been one of the best decks in the format, and it's a cyclical meta game. And like, if people think Dredge is good, they put in Bizarre Hate, and then once they put in the Bizarre Hate, Dredge becomes worse. And then once people see Dredge is worse, they stop putting in Bizarre Hate, and then Dredge becomes good again. It's just how the format works. Sure hope their last two cards aren't green card Vigor. Because if they are, we're dead. Vintage metagame is very cyclical, and that applies to all decks because there are no decks in the format that you can't metagame for and beat. If anyone tells you like you can't like metagame for Lurrus Saga and beat it, they're lying. You absolutely can. So whatever is the best deck one week is not guaranteed to be the best deck the next week. So you just need to change your deck. That's why it's very important to be on top of the metagame and changing your deck week to week. We are not playing Lurrus here. Why do we want to play Lurrus here? Playing Lurrus there just like runs into a bunch of random cards for no reason. What? People are playing Lurrus there? It's not free. It puts a card on the stack and uses my Black Lotus. What the fuck are you all talking? I'm gonna have to ignore chat for a little bit. Magic players have a very odd definition of free. They had another Bazaar? Oh no. Like, if I wait until my opponent activates Bazaar, there are no cards that hit me. No Mindbreak Trap, no Force of Will, no Negation, like nothing. Mindbreak Trap? Force? Like, why are we running into those cards for no reason to get a 3/2 lifelinker in play? It's just stupid. They had 2 cards in hand. Did they not have 2 cards in hand? If they didn't have 2 cards in hand, then it's just Mindbreak Trap and it's a little less defensible, but they can easily play main deck Mindbreak Trap. In fact, I would recommend playing main. Also, Lurrus just doesn't do anything. It's okay, whatever. I think we're just dead here, deterministically, right? Like, I wasn't gonna block and I wasn't gonna attack, so what did I even lose? Nothing. Lurrus doesn't do shit. I'm just dead to Dredge. Like, Dredge was a combo deck and I had nothing to interrupt their 2 Bazaar hand. Like, I had to draw Force. I had to draw a PO to win this game. Yeah, I lost a Black Lotus and I didn't get Mindbreak Trapped or Forced, which is fine. And it's totally acceptable if my opponent doesn't have a second Bazaar. I don't know. I feel like people in chat just play into every card and don't care. Like like what about the mind break trap from the other game? Like I feel like people just don't play around magic cards. They just jam and they hope it works. Like you can gain percentages by thinking about what cards your opponent can have and making percentage based plays. I'm at 5 life with the Narcomoeba. I block the hollow one, and I take exactly 6 and die? No, I gain 6. Okay, I can live here with a construct, and I can draw Ancestral into Vault Key. I mean, blocking anything doesn't matter, so I just take 6 and gain 3, and I go to 3, and I can just draw Ancestral. I can draw Demonic Key, maybe? No, I might be short on that. The thing is, like, Lurrus isn't a... I don't know. Like, it's just a misevaluation. In my mind, it's a misevaluation of what matters. But, like... The bigger and more important one was the Mindbreak Trap in the other game where we got Hurkyl's Recall and played around Mindbreak Trap. And then the one where we got Hurkyl's Recall and didn't play around Mindbreak Trap. Like those two plays. Okay, so I can draw Ancestral. I can draw Urza's Saga. Can I just not draw Urza's Saga ever, man? Alright, so I can use this Saga to get a top. A sweeper doesn't actually do anything here, so I wouldn't recommend a sweeper. I drew land this game, right? Alright, dope. Alright. Dredge game 1, they had double Bazaar. We did not have a combo kill. We lost. Pretty par for the course, so not a big deal. Jailer's in, Nihil Spellbomb in, Needle in, Tabernacle in, Cage in, Flusterstorm in. Force out, negation out, dig out, repeal out, misstep out, island out. Can we keep forces then? Let's see. 2 cards. Dress downs are pretty bad here, so we can keep forces. This is good. Vamps, Flusters. I mean, Probe is not that good, but like none of these cards are very good. So it's probably fine. This looks pretty good. I would say we're probably favored in this matchup. Pay 3 to put Lurrus in hand is like bad against Grief, but you are correct. I think pay 3 to put Lurrus in hand is probably correct. Hell, even like play Lurrus can be correct. I'm not saying it's not correct, but like saying there's like it's free is wrong, and saying that there's no reason not to is wrong. I can think of multiple reasons not to, but I'm not even like saying that play Lurrus there is bad. It's totally fine. It's just not the play I chose to make, and I gave the reasons why, and you can either agree or disagree. It's like not the big deal. What made PO play again? Well, we made a better deck. We made Lurrus instead of Tinker. That's number 1. Lorien Revealed is Lurrus Lorien Revealed is like a big important reason why this deck is viable. And then number 2, the metagame changed where you were playing different sets of counter magic. So no, it was not always playable. No. People were used to play Flusterstorms, 3 of in the main. Now they're playing Spell Pierces and Negations. By simply playing on your opponent's turn, you can play around negation. So like the overall makeup of the format, the counter spells people are choosing to use are good against the format, but because PO was no longer in the format, so they chose different counter spells, and now like it's this whole cyclical thing that I was talking about before. If people want to beat PO, you play Null Rods and Pyros and Flusterstorms, and you beat PO. And then PO goes away. You stop playing Null Rods, Pyros, and Flusters because they're no longer good against the other decks. And then PO comes back. It's just like Dredge. Basically, the way you need to look at it is that in Vintage, you can beat any deck you want to beat. So you need to be able to be a step ahead of the metagame. This hand has to go back. It's not strong enough. Ooh, this hand is also not good. This hand is also not good. They kept 7 again. If I had a looping graveyard card, like a Spellbomb in this hand, I think I would keep it. Buy Lurrus, play Spellbomb Lurrus with Force backup. But this hand is like, the Tabernacle is like not actually good enough against Dredge. It's just a helpful stopgap. This hand's just bad. Got a mulligan. This hand's fantastic. So we've done it. Probably need to put back Saga here, unfortunately. And just go turn 1 Jailer with Force backup. I mean, you can just like jam your powerful deck into any metagame and sometimes you'll win. But I think the edge is gained when you understand the metagame fluctuations and change your deck appropriately. Like, because the bar of power is so high, you can play Dredge into a format where Dredge is bad and still win the tournament. And it's like, sometimes it's correct if you're very good at Dredge to continue playing Dredge in bad Dredge formats. This Mold of 5 doesn't really get better. So this is pretty nice. I mean, people can be very good at Dredge. Like, Beerus played Dredge for a long time, especially when Dredge wasn't a good, and still found success, right? But I do think that part of the reason that I find success is that I have a good grasp on how the metagame cycles, and I capitalize on that. I mean, I literally qualified for a Pro Tour by playing an Oath of Druids deck of my own creation to beat a very specific metagame. Like, people were all in on Saga. Saga's unbeatable, and then I just D'd them for 10 rounds. I think Aggro Shops is pretty good into this current metagame. It's about to become a Null Rod metagame, so I think Aggro Shops is totally fine. I don't think I'm allowed to force this hollow one. I think we can beat this hollow one. I don't actually know if we can beat this hollow one. It's a problem. We have like a Tabernacle in our deck. We have Sagas, I guess. I think we can. It's a little unfortunate, though. There's 2. Why is there always 2? They kept 7-card Bizarre Hand twice. Very rough for me. I think we just need to play to Tabernacle. So... maybe that's why they paused and like let Jailer resolve. They're just like, I have 2 hollow ones. I don't care. I have to kind of just jam this Ancestral, right? I don't really have a convincing choice. Like, I... 2 7-card double Bizarre Hands, huh? I have to make my land drop. I think I'm going to lose this game pretty convincingly, if I had to guess. I played a turn 1 Jailer, and my opponent played free 8 power and murdered me. Oh, no, I don't know. Please don't pass the turn. Oh, shit. Not right there, because you're going to get another card off of the bobble, so you don't want to brainstorm when you have less cards in hand. You might brainstorm an end step here if you think that. And a wasteland, so I can't even draw Tabernacle? Oh, wait, we're going for the C? This is the greediest play of all time. Like, you can just hold up against... You can just hold up against Saga, Tabernacle, Time Walk. Brainstorm. So I have to hide this PO from a grief. So I guess it's just force PO on top. Draw PO, deploy the whole thing and hope it works. I mean, they have 4 cards in their hand and they're not activating Bazaar. They could easily just still have Force of Will. They could have Mindbreak Trap. They could have Force of Will. I mean, they're just not. I mean, I know one of the cards is Bazaar, right? But I mean, I'm not playing around anything here, am I? Can't imagine that I would. I mean, I could just go for their turn to play around negation. Looks like they have Mindbreak Trap. No? Are they going to trap this cage? I think they have a counter spell. I just have to figure out how I want to play through it. If I play through it, I can chump with Jailer. And yeah, I'm probably supposed to play this PO on end step, actually, on their end step. Maybe not their end step, maybe their upkeep. I don't know. I guess I could theoretically be looking for a Lurrus line if I hadn't played Cage as well. My opponent could also have Vigor in hand. I guess I could actually go for a Jailer block PO as well. It's definitely not play PO now. They're going to activate. I mean, they could draw into Force of Will blue card, but I don't think so. I'm not dead on board, so... Though I do have a Force of Will on the top of my library. That is pretty losing. Yeah, I don't know. They did it. They had Mindbreak Trap, chat. They had Mindbreak Trap. Successfully played around. I mean, if they're pitching Mindbreak Trap, that's probably not a good sign, though. Like, they could have Trap, they could have Negation, they could have Vigor. A lot of things. Well, I have to hope they don't have Force of Will. That's, like, our only chance here. I could just leave this Cage. Cage doesn't actually stop, Cage doesn't actually stop Creeping Chill. So it's probably better to just pick up the Cage. I think we're lost, for what it's worth. Well, I drew Tabernacle. So if they don't kill me here with Chill, then I untap Jailer, Tabernacle, Cage them, and we win. They discarded their second Bazaar. They hit 1 Chill. Puts me to 1. If they don't have a Wasteland, this is lost for them. I guess they could have a negation. Oh, they have a Wasteland. Sick. Oh, they used it. Sick. My opponent has no respect for Tabernacle. Just 0. There's always things to improve on. Let's see. I guess I can still get Mindbreak trapped here and lose. So I don't think it matters then. We just jam everything and hope it works out. I have a Mox Opal, so it's fine. I bet my opponent has a counter here. No, no counter. Does playing Cage do anything? Playing Cage prevents me from Lurrusing, right? And Jailer already covers Cage, so all of it does is... All it does is... Well, it doesn't really play around Shoal, because I would still just die to Chills, right? I think I need this Lurrus to win the game, is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to hold the Cage. My opponent can have Vigor and Vigor my Jet and Soul Ring and kill my Jailer and kill me. I can't force right now because I'm at 1 life. So if my opponent has a Vigor, they are winning this game. I can't play out enough things to have a mana no matter what. I would have to play out my Crypt and I would die. Yep, they have it. So tilting. All right, so we lost. I feel like I played really well and my opponent did not, but wasn't good enough. How do I lose? Very simple. I can't pay for my Jailer. My Jailer dies. They activate this and they creeping chill me and kill me. Like, I can't play out my Mana Crypt, and I had to play Tabernacle, so... Like, no matter what, they just always will hit chills and kill me here, right? I have nothing to play for. I have to... The only thing I can play for is if they just boarded all their chills out for fun. They're gonna dredge their whole library. I can't grab Lurrus. I have to stop Icarid being lethal, so... I mean, I can, I guess, because I'll have Mox Opal. But... Oh, there's Creeping Chill and I'm dead. That's extremely frustrating. I wonder if I could have played the game better. I don't know. I played around Mindbreak Trap and I resolved a PO for 6. I untapped. I had a Tabernacle to survive. Like, I feel like I played pretty well. But it is. This was a mulligan to 5. It was a pretty good mulligan to 5. So, can't really complain there. All right, here we go. 5th round of 6, 2-2 bracket. We got a Lurrus battle. We're playing against Unlucky Monkey, who is probably on Questing Druid Lurrus, which means they have got Pyroblasts in the board, which could be pretty problematic. This hand is not great in the matchup. Doesn't have like a Saga or a Moxen, but I think it's good enough to keep. Oh, they're on the play. I don't think I realized that. Basically, any hand that doesn't have Moxen or Ancestral is like not a great keep in PO. Jeez. Okay. You got Lotus. What do you do with it? It's a Jeskai deck that splashes Questing Druid, so. Dread Horde Arcanist. That one I don't really like the idea of occurring. I think we'll just cast PO and counter it pitching PO. This matchup's going to be challenging. This is the kind of deck that traditionally preyed on PO in the ancient past, back when Jeskai control was the real deal. Typically, the matchup you wanted to avoid the most as the Paradoxical Outcome player. They have a force backup, pitching expressive iteration. All right, you got it. Dreadhorde resolves. Got a cantrip. Got a preordain. All right, they're cooking. They are cooking. We're gonna start getting bullied by the banned in Legacy zombie wizard. It's a pretty funny thought. Would this card even be that good in Legacy anymore? I don't know. I don't speak because I don't know. This was just like another one of Brainstorm Days Wasteland sins, right? Gotta ban the newest payoff for playing Broken Blue Magic. I think we're just holding open Flusterstorm here. Maybe we cycle for Island. Yeah. I think I'm supposed to Fluster this Preordain for what it's worth. I think it's just a tempo play that makes a lot of sense here. Don't really like the idea of the continuation here. And I'm not going to really have mana to use my Flusterstorm defensively. So I think using it proactively just makes more sense here. It's not like they follow up with Lavinias and stuff. Like, that's not really what their deck is about. They have another Preordain. That is really bad. All right, so they have like infinite draw, basically. We have to probably put something together quick. We can time walk them for a turn to throw back another Preordain, but only if we draw land, actually. So, or a Mox, I guess. Saga's a pretty decent draw. Volcanic, 2 cards in hand, 1 top, 1 bottom, Monkey. Yikes. Ancestral, 1 card in hand, sick. I resolved my Ancestral Recall. Please don't mental misstep me. I had thought about that for a second, and I was like, oh no. I really need to draw a Mox in here. So I can start like using my top and like giving Ragavan bad cards. Oh, they have a Wasteland in hand. Interesting. I did hit my Moxen. So we can actually just use our top. I think we're in a great spot, all things considered. I'm going to mental misstep the Preordain, and then I'm going to get rid of a bad card with Ragavan. Unlucky Monkey plays Questing Jeskai. So they splash Questing Druid in a Jeskai shell. They actually have been winning with this deck recently. The record recently has been pretty good, actually. Merchant Scroll, Opal, Sapphire. So I give them Opal, and then I merchant for what? I don't even know. I don't know. I'm giving them Opal, though. I guess I could just go... I mean, I want to get PO, I guess. But I kind of want the Sapphire more. So maybe I just have Merchant Scroll, Sapphire, Opal. I don't have like infinite time here either. They can put Lurrus in hand. Doesn't really matter though. That's not nothing either. Hmm. Do I even want Merchant Scroll? Oh, I want Sapphire. I really want Sapphire. I think. If I want Merchant Scroll, I can go dress down into it. But I kind of just want to like do maximum topping and trying to find a key. I'm not sure. Like I can't get Saga. I'm pretty far from a great PO. No, I'm not that far from a great PO. So maybe I should just dress down into Merchant Scroll and then Lorien revealed for an island. How much damage am I taking? Get Manifold Key. Yeah, I know, but like, how? I definitely need to dress down this monkey next turn so I don't give them like infinite mana. But I guess they can still just play Lurrus Lotus anyway, so they already have infinite mana. uh, so like maybe it's better to like let monkey exile a bad card off the top of my library. All right, I assume this is just by Lurrus, right? What else could it be? Yeah. All right, so I need to decide what I want to do here. I think the answer is Cycle Lorien revealed. Or maybe I spin. No, Cycle Lorien revealed. I could go Cycle. Yeah, Cycle Lorien revealed, hold open, or end step address down, and then. I think I definitely am interested in Cycle Lorien revealed, though. Just build out my mana, get rid of the one card we know on top. Maybe we're just supposed to end step dress down. I guess I don't need to hold open a spin if I resolve a dress down. So I can theoretically just go Time Vault this turn. And then I can end step a dress down. And then... That's 7. Can't get Wastelanded. I have 5 mana. They can play a Lurrus Lotus this turn, but it doesn't actually do anything unless they have a Force as their last card. They're not going to play Lurrus? Oh, I guess they can't buy Lotus back. So if they have Forcible as their last card, this line makes sense. Or they could have Negation or Will. They have to have one of the two forces in their hand for this line to make sense, right? Or they're representing it. Definitely natural draw. It's a PO. PO is really rough here because if they do have last spell, counter spell, then I can't even like dress down and PO because I don't have enough mana. I mean, I just have to PO on their turn. I guess I should spin first and just see what we have. I don't know. I can dress down again. A force of my own. But I don't actually draw into anything here. Hmm. Seven life. I can dress down into a mana crypt and then PO the everything, but if they have a counter spell, it doesn't do anything. I don't even think that's good. I guess I just go for a PO on their upkeep and hope it works out. I mean, the problem is it doesn't actually do anything if I draw in force, right? It's like a PO for 3, but it's all Moxen. Yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to progress here. They draw 1 mana cantrip. That'd be really bad. Like, I don't have infinite time. They drew a 1 mana cantrip? It's like the worst possible outcome for me. Is last card negation. It is. So what does drawing with top here do? I counter this. I draw 3. I draw top mox. They get a random card off of Ragavan. I think I just have to, right? And then they double draw off Preordain and looks pretty lost. But I do have a spin, so. But they get double Preordain here. All they need to do is find a force. They went top bottom, and then they attack. Random Ragavan card plus Preordain. Like, drawing Preordain here was the worst possible outcome for me. I guess Ancestral is the worst possible outcome, but like a 1 mana cantrip is really rough for me here. And it was pretty obvious they had negation or force of will. So we didn't really have any option of doing it on our turn. This does turn on Opal, so they actually can play Lurrus Lotus here. So if they find like just negation, it also works. So like Ragavan gets a treasure, it turns on Opal, they can cast Lurrus, they can cast Lotus. And so any negation counterspell works, or force plus blue card works. Even Misstep is pretty damn good because it's just gonna hit our top. This is like a winnable game, but it's really hard. Dreadhorde Arcanist has been unbelievable, but they've also drawn 3 Preordains, which definitely helps. The good part about playing Jeskai into PO is that the matches are always, or not always, but are usually fairly interesting. There's like a lot of maneuvering, and you can play on end step. They went top bottom twice. Ragavan hits. Ragavan hits a Mox Pearl. So that was a dead card off the top of our library. So that's at least something. They get to play out a Bauble. A Bauble is nuts here because a Bauble represents 2 cards drawn with Lurrus. Why, man? All right, so now they get to go Lurrus plus Bauble if they don't have a counter yet, because they have 1 card left in hand, 1 card drawn for turn. Oh, they draw Treasure Cruise. What are you gonna cast for a blue here? Oh, they drew another Preordain. Interesting. So it's the 4th Preordain. Top bottom, very fast. Not a good sign. And a probe. Well, now they know my whole hand. I mean, I guess they can delve now if they have a delve spell as well. We know they have Lurrus and 1 unknown, and then a Bauble draw on my turn. Here's white for Lurrus, I assume. All right, are you drawing Bauble or Lotus? Lotus means they have negation. Bauble means they need to find something likely. So they have 1 unknown plus 2 draws on my turn, and they know my cards, so. All right, let's see what happens. I need to win the game on this turn. I don't think anything else is going to really work out. Fetch is not actually bad, but... All right, let's see. Ruby, top. See if it gets misstepped. Didn't get misstepped. Spin. Vamp. I cannot vamp and draw So, I mean, I could have just gone for Lurrus here. I just don't think that's good play. So I think I just let this go. And then we fetch. They still know our entire hand. I'm aware we have a jet, but we can't, like, cast Vamp and draw into it. We need to win this turn. Pio. Okay. That's the one. So, yeah. Do we play out the mana vault? Time vault, I mean, for 2 mana? It's probably not worth it. All right, did you draw? Force blue card. Survey says. Nope. Did we draw something? Not yet. Do we want to cast Lorien? Well, I guess Lurrus is free, not free. Costs pretty mana, right? What's in my graveyard? Just Dress Down. I think it makes more sense to go Mana Vault Lorien. Brainstorm, Dress Down, Soul Ring, Mana Crypt. I guess we Brainstorm? Key, woohoo! Got there. Wow. What a crazy match, huh? I always love these matches, though. They're just so... They're so interesting. I mean, it's a grindy game. All right. That was a good win. I really like the way we played that game, to be perfectly honest. It was pretty taxing. We just, like, didn't have a lot of wiggle room, but we just got there. Really liked that game. I think that was probably the most interesting match of the whole tournament. So if you're still here watching this on YouTube, congratulations. You made it to the most interesting match of the tournament. So I don't know if they're still on their questing version. If they're on their questing version with Ren and 6, then negation actually gets better because Ren and 6 is quite annoying. I do think we're bringing in Dismember. And then I don't really like Strip Mine that much here. It's possible that we want Needle. Probably not, though. Do like Spell Bomb. I do kind of like Flusterstorm in this matchup, actually. But I have to cut cards for this. Don't know how I'm going to do that. I guess Vamp is a pretty easy one to cut here. And then kind of like all of these other cards, though. Huh. How do I cut one more card? Probe, maybe? I don't know. Probe is pretty good against this deck, trying to figure out how to navigate. Could just be Repeal. I don't mind Repeal, but I need to make a cut somewhere, so let's try this. A little bit more of a grindy setup. Force is not bad. Force is definitely a card you could cut. Don't think I would cut over Repeal. Like, Repeal is just, like, not that good against my opponent's deck. So. And a lot of these matches come down to, like, one pivotal PO. So Force gets, like, a little bit better in that case. So. The problem is, like, you don't want to have, like, too many forces, or you just don't have enough action. Your opponent just grinds you out and you die. So. All right. I have a cat. They have a cat. I've got good mana, Force. Just looking for a PO here. Pretty good hand. Another Lotus hand? Okay. I mean, the good news is they're not the best Lotus deck, but the bad news is not the best Lotus deck is still Lotus. I wonder if I'm buying Lurrus. Like a lot of risk inherent in that. Oh, let's see. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do the whole thing. And nothing but the thing. Let's go Ruby, Lotus, Crypt, Lurrus, Cast Lurrus. I don't think I would force back, but I'm gonna just replay a Lotus and pass back here. We do have dress down loops, which are nice. Definitely a pretty broken start. Obviously, we drew our Lotus off the top. Very lucky. Hopefully, they don't have too much removal left in their deck for Lurrus. Our deck doesn't really play creatures. Strip Mine. Go. 5 mana. Tails. Lost the flip. Draw. See. Attack. Get our life back from our mana crypt. Second main, dress down. Draw a card. End step. Dress down goes away. Play a new dress down. Can negate it. Probably pretty reasonable. Merchant Scroll. Okay. All right, we've got our own little Lurrus value engine going. We've got Merchant for PO coming up. We've got some counter magic, some removal. Pretty nice spot. We are the Lurrus grindy deck in this game. I think that's like the nice part about this deck is it's not an Urza Saga deck, and it's not really a Lurrus deck, but it has Urza Saga and it has Lurrus, and so sometimes when like the cards just line up in the correct order, you can get away with those kind of strategies. Buy Lurrus. You gonna play Lurrus here? I have so many dismembers, like I feel like I should just let it resolve and dismember it. Oh, they can't even buy back the Lotus because I have a dress down. It signals that I have Flusterstorm, but I think that's fine. I don't really care about you losing life here, so. And I have lost life every time. Okay. These all look very winning to me. I think I like Lotus, Demonic, Time Walk. Ancestral, Merchant, something. I don't know. Yeah, we this is the first hand I would say that we very much vintaged our opponent. We just drew extremely high end of the variance levels here. Just utterly demolished, not because of anything in particular, just because we had much stronger draw. But you are definitely afforded much stronger draws when you put more powerful cards in your deck, so some of that matters. All right, here we go. Sixth and final round, Vintage Challenge. We're up against Kevin, strong Doomsday player, also known for prison shops. So see what they choose today. I've got a Lurrus. They're revealing something. Oh, maybe a Lurrus matchup here. Grixis Underworld Breach last played. Okay. So maybe on Lurrus Breach then. Very nice. Bowmaster Breach, no PO. Okay. All right, I'm gonna jam Mana Crypt Time Vault, and do they have Wastelands? They don't have Wastelands. So if they don't force this Time Vault, then we're winning the game on turn 3. I didn't show them Saga, so now they have to choose whether or not they think that I have a Saga or not. I wonder if I'm supposed to force this back if I did. All right, well, I have presented the lethal combination of Time Vault and Urza Saga if you do not play Answers. And my opponent does not play Answers, it looks like, unless they've swapped builds, which is possible. I'll have to see what they choose to do here. If they have like a volcanic island, it's very likely they're not on Wastelands. They could be on a Braid, though. So that would be something we could fight over. Mana Crypt, Pearl. That doesn't signify much, though. It does signify that they're not on the last list they played, and it does signify that they're on a combo-oriented list more likely than not. So this will be interesting. Spell Bomb. Don't care too much about that one. And White and Balance. Wow. Okay, so a more controlling version rather than a combo version here. This feels like a pretty easy force back. Don't want to lose our Saga. Do I want to keep PO? If they force back, it's 2 cards. I keep Island PO. I mean, it's not like the Lorien's that good. PO lets me draw into Moxen. They probably can have Wasteland, though. If they're playing Balance and these cards, like, they could very easily have Wasteland in their deck, so it's not like we're 1-1. But I definitely did not want to lose my Saga to a Balance there. Seems like that would be not great. I have a Flusterstorm. I could PO for 2. It's not very good here. Let's just pass up holding open Saga activation plus Fluster, and my opponent is going to need to draw a Wasteland, I would assume. They could also have a Needle in the main, which seems likely if they're willing to play a Spell Bomb. I assume this is like an Esper control. Maybe just like lightly splashing into white. Or it could be blue-white, lightly splashing into black. But Nihil Spellbomb determines that you definitely need to have black sources, and Balance definitely needs white sources, even if your white source ends up being a Pearl this time. Upkeep another cycle. So their hand right now has 2 lands, Tundra and Sea. If they have a Time Walk will get them to a Saga, and a Saga will probably get them a Needle, and that would be enough. Is that what you have? They do have a Time Walk. Wow. And Flusterstorm does not counter Time Walk right now. So what do we do? Do we PO, draw 2, try to find Force? We know that their hand is land unknown, but we're going to assume there's a Needle in their deck. I feel like we have to assume there's a Needle in their deck. Do we win this game? I mean, we're going to be behind on constructs. We'll have more constructs than them, and they will be larger. Nope, they'll be smaller for a little while. Nah, I should just be looking to go for PO, I think. Okay, I'm gonna let this happen. If I had a force, I would obviously force this, but I just don't think PO for 2 is going to net me what I'm looking for. So this Time Walk was clutch, though. I will, are they going to make a construct or not going to make a construct? Making a construct. All right, making a construct. I'll make a construct as well. And then I assume they're going to get a Needle, and they're going to Needle Time Vault. If they have a Needle in their deck at all. If they don't have a Needle and they're only playing Spell Bomb, then they need to find a Wasteland. So maybe they go Black Lotus or something. But then they probably would have kept one of the Lorien reveals to go Black Lotus. So they have a Haywire Might. Wow. And they have Spire to make green. Okay, so they're playing Turbo Vault Key. I like this deck a lot. This makes a lot of sense based on the things they've done in this game. So they didn't have a Wasteland to draw to, but they had double answer with Balance and Haywire Might. Well, I guess they might not be Turbo Vault Key. They could still just... Oh, no, they have Spire, so they're definitely Turbo Vault Key. This is probably similar to the deck that I got second in a challenge with, I would assume. But maybe the red version, considering there's a Spire of Industry. Typically, if you play the Esper version, you can cut the Spire, which is very, very nice. But the Spire here does make the green mana, so there's some upside for sure. This means that I am not able to go Vault Key, which is very frustrating. Unless I had a Needle in my deck. No, I don't have a Needle in my deck. So do I just make a construct then? I lost another flip. Another PO. Make a construct. They have one card in hand that's not Tundra. They can sack this and draw a card. I kind of like make a construct, play a Mana Vault, and cast PO. Maybe I don't even need a construct. I guess I don't gain anything. I gain the ability. I don't gain much. Yeah, let's just make a construct then. It's kind of interesting. Should they not have killed my Saga? Oh, they're going to kill my Time Vault right now and just exile it forever. I see. Interesting. I think I still want to go Mana Vault PO. They have one Tundra in their hand and one Unknown. Okay, so this doesn't let us PO, but it's not too bad either. I rather... I guess I can just play a Mana Crypt and buy Lurrus. This also lets me have a better attack. Okay. So my opponent has a Tundra, an Unknown card, and the ability to sack this Spell Bomb and draw a card. They don't have... They can recur this Haywire Might at some point as well. We don't have infinite turns anymore. So we don't have any way to win the game instantaneously. What we'll have to do is like overwhelm them. But we do have double construct in play, so that can help us overwhelm them. It's going to be tougher though, because like our opponent has like a better, like a wider range of answers in their deck, basically. They are on their own Mana Crypt though, and we do have large constructs, so they do have to find an answer at some point. Let me go find the latest Turbo Volkey list. Maybe a Sheer Con deck. A Lavinia. Wow, that's going to mean I have to find a... It's going to mean I have to find a... Oh, actually, it's probably a Sprouts list, actually. It's probably Sprouts' list if there's Spire of Industry. Okay. Lavinia is really nice because I don't have a Dress Down right now. I can't even cast my Dress Down. Lavinia is a super good draw. But these construct tokens are still a problem. They can buy the Lurrus now. But if they start looping Haywire Mites... Oh, God. There's an Oswald as well. Huh. Alright. Well... I don't know if Oswald is better than getting a Lurrus here, is it? Might be. They're really low on life. If they take another, like, big hit... It's kind of bad for them. Top. So I play my top. I attack. They have to chump at least once. They probably just chump once. Yeah, this is unfortunate. I can get them on a next attack, but I just don't think we're going to make it there. I can't Dress Down because I don't actually have a second land. Because my lands were Urza's Saga and went away. That's quite frustrating. What I can do is draw with top, replay top. And then try to get a spin in, looking for a land. Did not find a land. Wow. I guess we just leave Soul Ring on top. All right, I feel like I didn't hit the right magic cards here. My opponent has one card left in hand. They're at 5 life. They have an active Mana Crypt, but they can tutor a key or something away for this Mana Crypt. They have a Lurrus, but they're 1 mana short of playing Haywire Might. They're at 2 life now. So they're dead maybe to their Mana Crypt, maybe to an unblockable attacker. They could have a Swords in their deck. Blue Ancestral. I guess we just tax them here. Ancestral's a good one. Looks bad for me. If they do have a needle, actually, what they could do is fiddle bend, then crypt into a needle, and then needle manifold key, but then they have to play a blocker. They haven't bought Lurrus yet either, so I think this tax is good. Our opponent was at 5 life. They took 3 and went to 2. They can't get a Black Lotus with this Fiddlebender because Fiddlebender can only go up 1. So the only thing they can truly get here is a Needle and a Sensei's Top and a Manifold Key Expedition map. They might not even have a Needle in their main. All right, looks like they're going to sack the Mana Crypt. Let's see what they find. One thing that I messed up on a little here is I kept the Soul Ring on top, but then I tapped this Mana Vault. So now it's actually better for me if I have a Flusterstorm. I guess I can just draw into the Flusterstorm at any point, so it's fine. If they have like swords for my attacker, they have PO. Fittest be besides PO. Yeah, PO. I mean, I had to fluster to tax, I think, so not much I can really do there. How much was it for? 3, including... What did they Oswald for? Oh, a Mana Vault. They Oswald up a mana, up 2 mana for a Mana Vault. Mana Vault. I mean, there's no way they chain POs here, right? Like, that would be pretty silly. There's 2 POs in their deck, maybe 3 POs in their deck. We might be able to sneak a Construct win here because they exiled my Time Vault and not my key. Not that they can really exile. I mean, they could have exiled my Saga instead of my Time Vault. Not saying that was correct, but... White. Colorless. No. That is true. This costs a life, and if they have to untap their Mana Vault, it's a problem. That's very true. Yeah, they made black demonic, I assume. They're at 1 with a tap Mana Vault. I mean, they demonic for what? A Black Lotus? Maybe. Key. Untap Vault. Okay. And then what? Fiddlebender plus Needle maybe would do it. Fiddlebender. I'm still got a key. Time Vault. Oh my god, they were 1 away. That's crazy. That's so wild. Whew. Jeez. We barely escaped that turn. The ancestral to start the turn was quite rough. I think this matchup is not very good for me, to be honest. It seems like they have like a better, I don't know, they just have more things going on. I don't know, maybe it's not better, but like there's a lot happening and it can be very challenging from the PO side of this. I'm not even sure I'm supposed to bring in Fluster. I kind of hate Dismember as well. Kind of hate Negate. I don't know. Like all my cards are like fine, but they don't seem like good. Oh yeah, I mean the Fluster tax was very important for sure. I have no idea how to approach this matchup. What am I supposed to do here? Like none of my cards are bad here. How do I even board? I mean, I think I definitely want Needle Spellbomb. That seems like a given. Negation seems at least reasonable, but maybe not necessary. I don't know. I also like don't know which build they are. I think with Aspire, you have to think they're the red build, but they also played an Oswald, so it's a little hard to say. But they could easily be a build with Oswald and Oswald one engineer. I don't know if I want to cut Yawgmoth. Like they did have a spell bomb, but like Yawgmoth is really good in this matchup normally. I'm not even sure they keep in spell bomb. They might. I don't know. Like anything that like is card advantage and like helps grind. I don't think trap is what we want in this matchup. Like it can be good. The problem right now isn't cards that can be good. It's cards that are bad and should be ported out, and I have no idea what those are. Probably one Sensei's Top is a cut. We can make. Maybe we like only play one Flusterstorm. Maybe this is like too many dress downs for the matchup. Like dress down's not bad in the matchup. They have constructs. They have Lavinia. I kind of like it. Repeal looks good. Dig looks good. Everything looks good. That's the problem. Maybe I just play one negation. Maybe I go one top, one thing, one fluster out for two more utility saga point targets, and we just play like this. I'm not sure. Could maybe cut Vamp, but like it's not like they have a ton of like forces. They have like 6 forces, and then maybe Pyroblast, maybe Fluster. Who knows? It's tough. I just like they can play anything in their list, so it's hard to plan for. I really do like these Turbo Volkey lists. I do prefer not to play Spire of Industry, but I think they're quite reasonable. Is Mishra's Bobble good in my deck? Yeah. It's very important to have a card that loops that with Lurrus for card advantage. And Mishra's Bobble is a card that loops with Lurrus and is an artifact for Opal and is an artifact for Pio. So the first Mishra's Bobble is very, very powerful. The ones after that are not as important. So I cut like the second Mishra's Bobble, but I think the first Mishra's Bobble is very important. My opponent has a very nice start here. Yeah. Not much I can do about this. I don't think I'm gonna buy Lurrus. I think that's worse than holding open blue. They have Wasteland. What? Oh, Sprouts' new version has 3 waste, 1 strip, 2 waste. Wow. Okay. Good to know, I guess. That's not good. Brainstorm is like not great here, but I don't really see another time to use Brainstorm, so. Oh my. Okay. Hmm. 2, 4, 8 total. So I can play 2 POs next turn. 4 cards in my opponent's hand. If I just put Lurian, put Dress Down away. All right. Is it correct to play out Island or? Force, don't. Wow. Force, Pitch, Fluster, don't use Lotus. 2 cards remaining. Force, Pitch, Fluster, don't use Lotus. 2 cards remaining. All right, whatever. I'm in. Sweet. Demonic. Man, if I died of Vault Key, I'll be so upset. I want to cast Yawgmoth is what I want to do. I think the only way I really lose this game is Vault Key, but I can't really afford to go for like 4. I guess I could. I could go Force. I could just go Demonic, Time Walk, Untapped, Lorien reveal. But like, will Lorien reveal get me to where I want to go either? It's like not guaranteed. I don't know. I don't know the answer. Time Walk is better than Ancestral. Yeah, I'm gonna go Time Walk. Yawgmoth, 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 Yawgmoth. Yeah, uh-huh. That's a good one. Just a 1 in 46. Instantly wins the game. Nothing to write home about. Let's brainstorm to start. Snap. Wait, does this instantly win the game? Probably. Probably. Sure hope so. It's a free PO every time. I did not draw any half of Vault Key. I guess I have Demonic, Time Walk. None of these cards won the game. What's my best Demonic? Is it another PO? Probably just another PO. And then I play out a Needle. Blood for the Blood God. And then no matter what, I have a Needle and Dress Downs and Forces. So it's not like I can die. But I didn't. I was like looking to draw in with my free POs. I was looking to draw Volt or Key and then Demonic for the other half, which I did not do. Their hand is Strip Mine, Demonic Tutor. All right, so it's not even like bad for me. Wait, I hit all mana. I have Snap, though. That's why PO is probably the best one that I can get off Demonic. Woo! Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't play Legacy, but... alright, well, none of that is a Time Vault still. But I do have a lot of mana, so... Yo is the fun cards. Alright, let's repeal my Sapphires. Free. Let's cast... just name Urza's Saga, I guess. Let's cast... Lorien. Let's cast Lorien. Well, yeah, whoa, where are my cards that win the game immediately? Let's cast Dig. Yo, and Ancestral, I guess. Any order. Ancestral. Hey, a Time Vault. God bless. That was a lot of work to find a Time Vault. Oh, man. All right. Woo! Bread and butter 4-2. So pretty good showing for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna have a vintage super RCQ. I'm gonna play the same deck. What did we think of? So I went 4-2, and I lost to Sphere Shops, Prison Variety, where I felt that, I mean, very clearly I lost the game. Basically didn't play very well around my clock. Made me run into a decision where I made the wrong choice and lost because of it. And then I lost to Dredge, where they just had really powerful 7-card double Bazaar keeps in both games. So yeah, so basically one match we could have cleaned up, and then we would have top 8'd. So that's basically where we want to be. Just need to clean up. Basically, I gotta play better. That's a continual problem with my decks, is that I'm the pilot, and I am not. I don't know. Reed Duke. What else? I like this deck list. I think everything about this deck list is good. I don't really have any complaints with the way the cards in this deck list are set up. They all do their job. They're all pretty well positioned. Like the second top maybe could become a different card. That could become a Ponder or something. But I like having enough artifacts to make sure I can PO. So I think overall was pretty happy with the deck. I'm probably going to run back the same 75 tomorrow for the Super RCQ. That will be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I will be streaming it live. So if you want to watch the Super RCQ, make sure you come back tomorrow afternoon. Is True Hero streaming? Does anyone know? It's True Hero. I forget what the name of his channel is. But that has he's in top 8, so let me just go take a quick peek. and I'll send you guys over there. Oh, I forgot to sign off. If you're interested in seeing more vintage content, the Super RCQ VOD will be coming up right after this one. So don't go anywhere. More vintage content like this one every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll see you then.